Now we have the amazing Michelle Nazarov. Have we got the pictures up? We're going to have to check out these photos. I recommend you invite some of your friends in here down to meet the wonderful world champion bodybuilder, Michelle Nazarov, and also the co-author of You Can Live the Life of Your Dreams. So have a seat, Michelle. So what an amazing journey you have. Now these people met a new audience. They don't know who you are, maybe. Does anyone know Michelle or have heard of Michelle? Just only a couple. So maybe we can have a quick little rundown. How's that microphone going? Can everybody hear me? Okay? Yes? Is that loud enough? That better? Yes. Is that okay? That's it. Okay. So just a quick little, do you want just a little rundown about who you are and your journey of self-discovery and how you discovered your life purpose?
Well, lovely to meet you all. I hope you're having an amazing day. How awesome is the stands? They're so great. But I'm an ordinary woman who's achieved extraordinary things in body, mind and spirit. I'll keep my story really short, but just in a nutshell, my entire childhood and teenage years I trained to become an Olympic equestrian rider, and I was very close to achieving that goal until I had a severe riding accident and I broke my neck. I nearly killed myself or became a paraplegic, so I was very, very lucky to survive that and come through. But after about 12 months of recovery, I fell into a very, very deep, dark depression because my entire teenage years, my entire intention was to be that world champion or Olympic athlete. And I fell into depression very, very quickly, and I became an alcoholic within about 12 months. So I set out for for another 10 or 12 years to completely annihilate my body because I felt that it let me down. It didn't allow me to achieve my ultimate purpose. And I became extremely overweight, obesity, depression, and then I had a very severe car accident where I shouldn't have survived, which I did. So somebody upstairs was looking out for me. Every panel on the vehicle was smashed except for where I was sitting, and I survived that. And that's when I discovered really what my life purpose was, not just to be that world champion or Olympic athlete. There was obviously something more for me to do.
But when was that in the mind, when you absolutely thought, I know who I am, or you had that shift?
Well, I hit the rock bottom that time because for all those years of alcohol abuse, when I had that car accident and I survived, what really shifted me was the thought my reckless behaviour was not only damaging myself, I was able to damage somebody else. So I actually realised I didn't care if I had killed myself in that car accident. I actually would have liked to. That's how depressed I was and how much I was fogged. But when I thought about the person, I could have killed your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or your children with my reckless behaviour, that's what shifted me. I thought, oh my gosh, what have I become? I was a young woman who with every thing going for her. I was an elite athlete who then lost her way, and I thought, my goodness, maybe I've been spared again to be able to do some work and maybe inspire others. So what I decided that day was to change my life. I'm going from one of the most unhealthiest, abusing my body with alcohol, cigarettes, processed food, to becoming super healthy.
But were you in the hospital at that time of that mindset change? See, what we're trying to educate people is that it is all the power of the mind. Yes. It is all the thoughts, and it's about changing your intentions about your own life, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly what happened. So my story doesn't end there, I tell you. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going and going. So what happened was I started to set out to become super healthy, changed my diet to a certain extent, gave up alcohol, gave up cigarettes, gave it up cold turkey, and changed and immersed myself in the health and fitness lifestyle. And I started natural bodybuilding because I thought I'm an extreme sportswoman, so this could be good. And I started training for that. I set myself a goal to become the world champion in natural bodybuilding within 5 years after being a crazy drunk for 8 years. So it's a very unusual thing to choose, but that's what I say. Don't ever underestimate yourself. Set really high goals because you will achieve them. And I became Miss Australia within a couple of years after immersing myself in that.
So when we look at these pictures here,
yes,
this is the before and after, but what was the time difference between the first photo and the last photo?
There's 18 months there. So
just imagine 18 months, that's like a miracle, isn't it?
It's amazing how the body can respond, but before these pictures, I was diagnosed, I had aortic stenosis, which I never realised I had. So this is the other journey that I had to go through. And when I was wanting to become the world champion within 5 years, I was 3 years in, well on my way. I was already Miss Australia, and then I'm getting hit that I have to have open heart surgery. I have to have my aortic valves replaced, and exercise with any type of intensity for the rest of my life was not on the agenda.
Wow.
I said, are you for real? Really? That can't be right. So what I decided to do when they said I wouldn't exercise, I did a lot of work with Tony Robbins, and I adopted a plant-based diet because our intention was to become that world champion. It was such a strong why for me. I wasn't prepared to give up. There is always another way. So
This is also saying on the power of having a goal, setting a clear goal for yourself, because that enough is enough to lift you out of that bed.
That's right. You have to believe, but you also have to immerse yourself. You always have to get back up. No matter how many times you're knocked down,
Like
it's
when you
about
fall off
getting-
a horse.
That's
you
exactly
get
right.
back up.
Get back up. And by adopting, that's when I adopted the plant-based diet, and I looked at food from a nutrient point of view, and I looked at rebuilding and revitalising the body, not overstressing an already stressed body. I had that open heart surgery. Then that was from open heart surgery to 18 months later, I went on and I won the world title after they said I'd never even exercised.
Wow.
So that's the power of belief, but it's more so the power of plants.
Yeah, and also how long were you in the gym every day?
We're in the gym for, say, 2 hours a day.
That's all.
2 hours a day. If you train correctly, train smart, you give your body nutrient-dense foods in the way the body's designed to take it in, not with isolated, fragmented, synthetic vitamins. Real food. It's about
But
eating.
people actually don't believe. When they see that, they go, well, she's taking drugs. Definitely. They don't believe that
Absolutely.
you actually did it with the
That's
mind.
right. Do it with the mind and the belief, and with plants. But yes, you've got to believe, but there's a process. There is no magic pill, there's a magic process. And the body works. The body is an amazing machine if you give it what it needs. That's why this is such a wonderful event, because everybody here is promoting health from within.
That's it. Yeah, change your mind,
And a belief.
body, change your life.
Absolutely, but you have to have all the facets working at the same time. That's what I discovered. There's 6 secrets for me, and that was the breath, that was hydration, that was whole food nutrition, revitalizing exercise, rest and recovery, and positive thoughts and emotional healing.
Wow.
If you get those 6 things working in unison, the human body is powerful, and don't ever let those pictures, which is proving a point.
So this is why we need coaching as well, because it's very difficult on your own to do this. Did you have your own coach or mentor?
Yes, well, obviously Tony Robbins is who inspired me. Hemant Shavda, who's here today from Coach 26, he inspired me and kept me going because that's what put me on the path to the plant-based and the power of regeneration and reversing disease. So that was fantastic. But I've had coaches. I mean, if you want to be coached, want to become good at something, you need to model someone who's done what you want to do.
Right.
It's the quickest way there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've had many.
Found some of the best ones in the world.
have, and
I'll take him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways to get from A to B. You take on board a lot of little bits and put it together for yourself. But the biggest thing I want to get through to everyone today is it's a synergistic effect. So many people are focusing on the food and not the exercise or their emotional well-being. Or so many people are focusing just on their emotional, spiritual well-being, but they're forgetting about the body.
That's right.
You must look at all facets to get that ultimate health and vitality, and the body that you desire or the look that you want is just a byproduct of that.
That's right. And it's just, a lot of people say, oh, I haven't got time for that.
That's
I
right.
haven't got time, I haven't got the money, I don't know how,
Yeah.
so don't worry about it.
And that, like I say, that's extreme. Most people look at it and go, oh, that's a little bit unattractive, but we only look like that for a very short period of time.
And we
But
look like that.
as you can see, I'm actually 10 kilos lighter now than I am in that photo, so
You look better now,
yeah,
healthier now.
healthier. But when I want to look like that, that'll take 12 weeks.
That's different.
Yeah, to get there.
Congratulations for that. And talk about this book. You can have your, if we can just change the next slide. You can live the life of your dreams. You're a co-author.
Yeah.
So talk about what were you talking about in this? It's about the mindset. or-
Again, this book, it's a 10-week program, and I co-authored it with 10 other amazing people. But what it is again, not just looking at one thing. It's looking at emotions, it's looking at money, it's looking at stress, it's looking at sexuality, health, nutrition. Like I say, if you really want to get from A to B the fastest possible way, stay there. you've got to look at all these facets. So this book looks at all those different angles. That's the key I'm trying to get
But
across.
also you have to start to take control of your own life and your own well-being and stop listening to everyone. I think that the body tells you, yes, no, that's not right for me.
Yes.
Rather than just run around and just buy everything that's on for sale, because then you can become obsessive with workshops and healers and not really trust yourself again.
Absolutely.
That whole balance of everything, isn't it?
If we all stopped and got back to the foundation,
Well, what's easy?
what's
the next
easy,
logical step?
there is a lot of overcomplicating going on out there. But that's because there's a lot of money involved in that.
That's right.
So we are very, very smart if we trust our intuition and come back and slow down.
Or create a plan. When you're with coaches usually create a holistic whole plan, mind, body, soul, about
Absolutely.
what's right for you now. So then you can just relax and think, oh, this is for 12 months, 18 months. Not all today, not all tomorrow. It's just like, just take one logical step. Just do things easy.
Sometimes coming out of it and allowing somebody else to look at your entire situation from an external point of view, and it's a lot easier that way sometimes because you let it go. It'll resonate with you or it won't. And if it feels good, go with it. But when you're immersed in it and you're bogged down,
it's the mental energy that people get stuck in.
and we're so busy nowadays. So it's lovely to sometimes think, I don't actually have to think. It's done for me, and you just follow the plan and it's done. Get to where you want to get to, and then maintenance is a lot easier.
So do you want to talk about this very quickly with NAZAFit? Are you doing online programs still?
Yep, I do lots of online programs with NAZAFit. You can visit the website nazafit.com.au.
You should write that down.
But I'm about inspiring and empowering. I'm not about preaching, and our results speak for themselves, and we really focus on nutrient-dense eating and plants and the holistic nutritional and exercise. But we do lots and lots of workshops Australia-wide. I'm off to Dubai. I'm doing a lot with Dubai. They love us Australians. I'm a little bit frightened whether they're going to like my accent.
And Heather coming up next is going to Dubai this week as well. So what's going on?
We're going to take over Dubai. But yeah, so we do a lot of workshops. If you follow me on Facebook or through the website, there's workshops all the time. Really, really exciting, empowering ones. Lots of fun. We learn really well with fun.
We'll have to put some of those books in our bookstore as well.
Yes,
But
that'd be great.
does anyone have a question? What have we got for free today? Some gifts.
So I've got some books here. So if anyone has a groovy question for me,
Signed?
oh, of course, I can sign it. Yes. Well, I think because my situation was so extreme, because of the history, when I realised, I thought to myself, the surgery I was going through was so was very, very, very serious operation. I thought if I make it through, I'm going to find a way to be able to achieve that goal of becoming that world champion. So I think it was mainly because I had an extremely strong why. And then what I did was I sat down and I planned it. So I looked at all the areas of what I wanted to achieve, and I had to set a plan. And that's when I come up with those 6 elements, wrote them down, then I goal set it for each of those elements. But what I needed to do was take a real honest look of where I actually was at that time. A lot of people are kind of sugarcoating it, brothers and sisters, we're like, yeah, I know I should do that.
Well, let's pull out, as a spiritual life coach, we go right deep, don't we?
Yeah.
And we pull out everything. What's hidden beneath?
Yeah. And it's
but
quite
it's actually good for you.
It is.
But how else do you release it? You've got to pull it out, like absolutely.
But if you do pull it out, you need to decide to do something with that.
Yes.
So a lot of people are pulling it out, letting it go, but let it go, but make a plan to ensure that that doesn't happen again,
Right.
or something moving forward. So
You've got to pull the roots out of the problem, and then it won't come back.
That's
The little
right.
weeds will grow back again.
and then being really honest and saying that it is what it is, this is where I want to get to, this is what needs to be done. And when you write it down and really get connected with that, and it becomes a why, that means that's when you will follow through. Yes, I planned it. Oh my gosh, I planned everything. So I had a structure for all those 6 areas.
Exercise, positive affirmations.
Absolutely, yes, and had it structured of what like rest and recovery is so important for health and
Simple
vitality.
things like adequate sleep and lots of water.
But you must structure it in.
Yeah,
So
you forget.
if you don't write it, you don't do it.
Spa. Or about be queen for the day or something.
Yeah. So having it there, having that plan, you look at it every day. It'll just jog your memory, and if it's strong enough, your why is strong enough, that will shift you to continue to do what needs to be done. But if you're kind of wishy-washy, you're not really sure, it takes a long time to get there. So let's get really specific with what needs to be done and where you're actually at, and then you can move forward. Does that answer your question?
Thank you. We've got one more. We've got time for one more. We've got someone else because we've already had that lady, but it's someone else quickly, or else we're going to go to the lady in the back row. This one here.
Yes, hi.
And emotionally.
Oh, emotionally, yes, definitely. Yeah, again, very high, very low, very high. But I found when I started to nourish my body, it leveled out a lot more. And again, once I released it and I had written down what I needed to achieve, I leveled out again. Do you know what I mean? There wasn't as much fear. So again, you need to be organised and be very methodical with what you do, even though people think that's quite anal or whatever. It takes the pressure off.
But also, if we set too big a goal and you think there's no way that I can achieve that,
Yeah.
like say I'm going to create $10 million tomorrow, it's so out of my mindset that it's like I can't believe. It probably would be if I could believe it.
Yes.
But if I don't believe it, so do you also create some easy,
Absolutely, breaking
They
it
say, how
down.
do you eat an elephant? By little pieces.
Absolutely, and again, celebrating the wins on small goals. That's the thing. So you have your big hairy goal at the end, but you've got to have many goals along the way, stepping stones, because every time you
Celebrate your success every Friday or something. along the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what you do.
It's beautiful. So, quick one, last one.
How do you know?
We can't hear that. Can anyone hear that?
Quite hear you, sorry.
Where the inspiration
Where the
came
inspiration?
from.
Oh, so you missed the first part of... No. So for me, yeah, my journey was, a few ups and downs, but the inspiration came from wanting to become an Olympic athlete, not achieving that, breaking my neck, then becoming an alcoholic and obese.
Clear what you don't want real fast.
So I was weird like that, But so that inspired me because my true intention from when I was little was always to be a world champion. Then I had heart surgery and said I wouldn't exercise. I think there's a lot of journeys, but I realised when I kept surviving these big issues that there was a bigger purpose for me. And that was my inspiration, was that if I could follow through and achieve what I wanted to achieve, I may be able to inspire other women to go for their goals, set high goals. So that was my inspiration, was the journey that was never easy.
We've got so many authors on today, so we can kick you out the door. But on the side, if you can autograph some books for us.
Absolutely, of course.
And we're so grateful to have you here and share your story. Thank you, everyone. Give her a round of
welcome.
applause.
Nice to meet you.
Michelle Mazaroff. Thank you.